Yeah,
Maybe.
both of them. I have them tattooed on me, and like I'm named after both my
Each cheek.
grandfathers. Yeah, yeah, one on each. And then when I twerk, they kiss. It's really great.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's amazing.
Clip it.
I will clip that. All right, guys. This is Cosmically Speaking, episode 3. I have here a legend in the making, a great Milwaukee mind that's molding the culture around here. The owner of the best thrift shop in Wisconsin. Oh, I was hoping a better. I was hoping for a better reaction. He hates that. All right, let me redo that.
I felt it coming.
Yeah. All right, now for real though. All right. Clip it. All right, guys. Hey everyone, Cosmically Speaking, episode 3 here. I have an amazing guest, an amazing local legend. You probably know him at Say Word, E instead of an O in word. That is Mr. Benny T. What's going on, brother?
What's up, dude? How are you?
I am good. I guess, I don't know if I'll cut it or not, but I want you to get right into why the word thrift is not a good word to use.
No, not that it's not a bad word. When I think of thrift, I think of the action of going to a place that gets items donated, everything thrown together, and you have to sift through to find something good. To me, that's like a thrift. What we have at Say Words a little bit more, I say like curated.
Mm-hmm.
We know what we're looking for. It's already select. It's the best of the best. You don't really need to go rack to rack to find something good. It's banger after banger. So,
Yeah.
but
I can't.
everybody says it, so I'm used to it by now. It's okay.
No, yeah, but don't say thrift. Don't say thrift. All right, so officially I'm going to start it like I've started the last 2 ones. What do you think about when you look up at the stars?
My childhood,
Okay.
being a kid.
Do you stargaze still? Like, I know Milwaukee's kind of tough with, light pollution is kind of bad.
Yeah. I would say I'm in Washington Heights, so some nights it's clear enough to see a little bit, but not enough. And I think that's like a general, just like life thing for myself about like not slowing down.
Like it's there, but you're just not doing it. But you did it as a kid.
Oh, so much. We used to be out late at night, whether it was like playing sports or riding our bikes or just messing around and like just chilling, pre-phones, obviously, just like
Mhm.
talking, gazing up, hanging, vibing.
You've been up north, I assume.
Oh yeah, a
Yeah,
lot.
so
when
you've
I was a
seen
kid.
real stars.
Mm.
Because I think there's a lot of people, and it shows, kind of not calling people out, but there's a lot of people from cities that really haven't ever looked up, which is crazy, and it grounds you immediately when you actually look up and you're
Yeah.
just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went and I stayed with my cousin in California in like 2015 and going out to like the mountains of California and
Like
being out
northern.
there, like, yeah, and
Okay.
just being able to like look up. That was like really probably my best experience of like heavy, like looking up, stargazing, just enjoying it. And obviously I was in California, so I was enjoying in the state recreational activities, which enhanced said experience naturally.
There you go. Yeah, I've had some. Yeah, that's crazy. I think there was one time, I'll probably cut this. I have to cut this. But like stargazing, I think is super important just for like, just knowing that we're where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So that's good that you actually know that, especially because I know that you grew up here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yep. Born and
Yeah.
raised.
I guess I'll segue into a completely different question then, because that answers that. What was the moment in time or thought like when you decided to open a store?
Well, when I was a kid, I grew up in a family business, so I always had the idea I wanted to open a store.
Okay.
But back in the day, my idea was like, I'm going to have like graffiti supplies and skate supplies and comic books and toys. Like that's what I like thought. But then obviously as getting older, the idea developed. I started selling like jerseys fresh out of high school. I sold Pokemon cards in elementary school, but then just
Straight hustler.
steamrolled. I was doing Say Word, just creating designs for other businesses. But the big tipping point was I went out to Arizona in 2020 and I went out there to sell vintage to a bunch of the different stores out there. And I
Okay.
just kind of saw the way guys were running it and how successful they were and the vibes they were doing. And I kind of honestly had the mindset like, dude, if these guys can do it, nobody in Milwaukee's doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, mainly like men's vintage, a lot of women's vintage, but not a lot of men's vintage. So I was like, okay, came back maybe 2 weeks after I got back, signed the lease, and then a week and a half later, COVID hit and shut down the country.
Oh
But
shit, you opened up only like a year or something before I got in town.
yeah,
Yeah.
I opened to the public, officially to the public, June of 2020. I was doing like private
Okay.
appointments in May, but I was doing,
So a year and a half before I opened up, basically. I
yeah,
opened up in November 2021.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, because I knew the place. Well, I knew your place, but I never went in until I don't even know if I went in before I opened up. But I seen it because just driving down Oakland all the
Yeah,
time and whatever else. Do you remember Rethreads over here?
yeah.
It was in the. Did you come here for it? I thought it was like jeans though, right? Only jeans, or am I
They had a
mixing that
little
up?
bit of everything, but I can't remember if I ever came to this location. I never really liked when I was like younger. I never was really in Shorewood because we were kind of like not troublemaking, but we were just always troublemaking.
Did you make it through high school?
Troublemaking. Oh, yeah, dude, don't get high school. Don't get me started.
No, we could talk about it.
My friends roll their
Trouble.
eyes at me because I was one of those kids who walked through the hallways, kind of did what I wanted, but somehow still got like straight A's. Like I had some teachers that were like, "Hey, I know you don't want to do this assignment, so do like this alternative assignment instead." And it was just I don't know. I was like a senior officer. Like I graduated with like all A's. So
Damn.
I went to UWM, but I dropped out because that was just college was not for me, not my vibe.
You
Like
just
at
went
all.
to go, kind of. Like, cause
I had free tuition to any UW school until I was
okay,
26 because of the GI Bill because of my dad, because of military. But I just wasn't for me. I didn't have the like attention span for that. I was trying to get to the money. I didn't want to keep wasting my time.
I feel that, especially if there's like so many kids go to college just because of their parents or whatever,
Pressure.
and then you go for 4 years and then you don't even do what you went to school for.
I think that you go to college for two things. You either go to like learn like doctor, like stuff you
Mm-hmm.
have to lawyer, like stuff like that or a trade. But if you're going for like business, dude, just go work a job. Go try and be a manager somewhere. Like
Mm-hmm.
get in the field. Well, I went to school for business management and we spent like 6 weeks on like binary code. And I was like, what does this have to do with? And they're like, well, you might need to like learn how to code. And I'm like, okay, but I also probably won't.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, school's very weird. I feel like field is like being in the field is the way to
That's
go.
public school for sure. And then, uh, I don't know. I know Milwaukee in the area does not have like good test scores or whatever else, but that's just American.
It's
I
gotten
think
so
the
yeah,
schooling is just
yeah.
shit in general.
MPS has gotten so bad. I run into teachers from when I went to high school, and they'll be like, "Oh God, like you and like a year or two after you were like the last good, really good like MPS years," which is sad because you're talking like 20 class of 2010 to like
Mm-hmm.
2012. You're talking like 13 years ago is like the last time they had like a really good all around class. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, I can't even imagine being in high school right now with all the phones and just everything. Everyone is, I see it even at home or wherever. Like, I don't know, you're probably the same, but this in my eyes is just my life. And
Mm,
you literally have to put it down. But
yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. I want to go back to that one thing you said. You said no one was doing anything that you were doing in Milwaukee. It's surprising, right? And that's the same how I felt about the store
So
with what
weird.
I'm doing. Is like you would think Milwaukee's a big city. There's a big, cool toy shop there. Nope. Not like
Mm-mm.
it's very strange. So if you're listening and you want to, or you're aspiring to like do something, Milwaukee's a good place to take a risk because there's
Yep.
a lot of room to grow.
Yep.
And yeah,
Yeah, I think
just don't try to
that
do what we're doing. You're gonna
yeah.
get fucked up.
I think that it's interesting because a lot of the toy stores that I used to go to when I was a kid closed even before I got out of high school, some of them. And then there were other toy stores that have been open since, but like have weird hours. I think the generation that owned it are now like 70 plus.
Where's that at?
So like there was Toy Dimension, North Avenue.
Yeah, he's gone. He's done.
Yeah, he's done.
Closed up.
And I go way back with Henry. Like he used to give me, like he was one of the first guys to ever give me like toys that wasn't like a family member. Like I'd go in there with my Uncle Felix. We'd be on deliveries and he'd be like, oh, I have to make a run. And we'd be like going down north. And all of our deliveries previously were on the east side.
What's this for, the deliveries?
For Gloriosos.
Okay.
So I would be like, where are we going? And then it wasn't until we had done it a couple of times. So I'm like, oh, baby, we're going to the toy store. And we'd go in and he was just so nice. He'd always toss me like Hero Clicks and like stuff like that. There was a place called Game Castle by Mayfair Mall, been closed forever. But yeah, just it's crazy that for what I felt like I wanted to do, the like vintage toys, the vintage video games, the vintage clothes, the sneakers, and then the Say Word line. It was just crazy because I went to Arizona and I visited 7 stores similar, not exactly what I was doing, but similar. And then you come here and it's like, why aren't there like more? It's very bizarre, but I do feel very fortunate to be like the only store doing the exact mix I'm doing. There's other stores doing, you know, similar things, but really sticking to what I stick to.
Not like me.
No, everybody, yeah. I love, like, dude, the toy selection right now in here is like honestly nutty. Like it's crazy. Like the spread is
fun.
Nuts. It is.
I was more so referencing the song and saying that they're not like you. But yes, I guess not like me either, but it's okay. And I'm not going to get into that because Drake won, but we're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into that.
Stop.
Yeah. Is your uncle at home? Because I'd like to talk to the man of the house.
Stop.
We're not going to get into that. I just don't like Not Like Us, the song. I think it's too much boppy. There's too much, you know, I love Kendrick. And I used to actually, when Meek and Drake had a beef, I was so Meek because it was like ghostwriting, pussy ass bitch, writing all your Drake shit. And then now I go back and listen and he just makes bangers and it's fine. And it's like, but I don't know. It's like, I can see like the Milwaukee, like, you know, the gritty Milwaukee, everyone behind Kendrick, you know, because Drake is soft. It is what it is. But like also there was a couple things like Not Like Us, for example, like if he didn't actually, if he's not a pedophile and they're saying all this shit, it's like, it's over. You lose your thing. And then there was the other thing that was in another song they put out. Drake's team literally fed him about his fake like daughter and he put raps about it. Yeah. There's just little things. And I just like, I mean, it's not. Yeah. I'm happy with both sides. Yeah. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
I will say though, it's crazy that like it obviously worked. This is the most popular either of them have been in forever. You know, like everybody, even people who aren't into music have talked about this situation. And even now, because we're going on almost a year, like this started in like, didn't this initially like kind of start the wave in like May of last year, June?
Let's start with the J. Cole song with Drake and J. Cole.
Right. So like May of last year.
When J. Cole said, fuck the big three.
Correct. So that might have even been around like April. Yeah, we're coming on like a year. So it was definitely something like culturally impactful that I think will be like.
Yeah, that's our Biggie and Tupac.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah. Kind of, yeah. It's like I don't know. The internet just makes things so big. Like I always think about all the different scenarios that could have happened, whether it's like, you know, even government corruption or whatever the fuck it is you want to talk about. Like if the internet was here, like I'm happy for the internet at least because now we can.
Would
see
OJ
things.
have gotten off if we would have had IG and Twitter?
No, because he would have been live streaming right after. Fucking swiping the blood off his camera and shit. I did not do it. No, he was not.
Cameras everywhere. Like
exactly. Yeah, there'd be cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
Or he'd just get. I mean. Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy though. I wasn't. You weren't old enough, right, for that?
For OJ?
Yeah. How old were we? Or when did that happen?
90s. I mean, OJ.
You remember that?
I do. I remember my parents watching it on TV. Yeah.
Because it's always just been a thing, kind of. They're still milking that shit on Netflix.
Yeah.
But I love that book that he put out. It says, I did it, and if, and like the little thing. It's if I did it. And it's just like,
Yeah.
my dad watched, we're getting a little off subject, but my dad was watching the documentary about that, and he said his best friend asked him if he did it, and he basically said he did, but didn't, and then he stopped talking to him forever. And
Oh,
like,
he
that was
did
like,
it.
yeah, 100%
Come
he did.
on, he did
He got
it.
in trouble for like beating her ass and beating her car and everything else.
Who else did it? Come on.
Joe, his alter ego. Joe did it. Oh
Joe, Big Joe.
Yeah.
I can't help it when Big Joe's around.
Yeah, exactly. He did that shit. And it's crazy, yeah. I love the video of him opening the door at the hotel, stabbing at the... Have you seen that?
Yes.
Ridiculous.
The news. Dude, if... Like, I've shown people, like, the generation younger than us, like 20-year-olds, and they thought it was like an SNL skit. Like, they thought it was, like, fake. And I was like, no, this is real. Like, this really happened. And they were like, how did they not throw him in jail immediately? Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird things about that. You know, they fucked up with the... I think someone didn't use gloves to touch some evidence, and that got thrown out. Then he supposedly didn't take arthritis medicine. His hands blew up, so he couldn't fit in the glove. Just weird, but like...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the judicial system for you. Good or bad, it fucks people.
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess we'll segue into... Do you believe in aliens?
Oh, God, yeah. I think if you don't, you're genuinely ignorant.
Yes, please. Thank you. Yeah, do you believe that we ourselves are aliens? Like, I'll dig deeper into that if that doesn't make sense, really.
I would say, by definition, yeah, we'd have to beat everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if there are aliens out there, therefore we would then be aliens in return.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we are them, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you grow up religious?
You did.
Are you still religious?
No. Sorry. I don't know why I chuckled at that. Yeah, I grew up going to Blessed Sacrament over on like 38th in Oklahoma.
Is that one of the big ones?
Not super big. Not really, honestly. I went and I played sports there.
Okay.
Sunday school. I got baptized and I did got the step where you can get the communion.
Yeah,
but
your first communion.
First communion, but
Yeah.
I didn't do
confirmation in 8th grade. Same.
Jumped out before that. My parents got divorced in 5th grade, so
same.
Like 4th, 5th grade. So
for me too. And that's why I didn't, and I moved.
Okay,
that's
crazy. We talked about that.
Yeah.
I'm like, hell yeah.
But,
divorce. I said divorce gang.
Yeah. Yeah. Get your parents to get divorced, and you will become successful.
That's true. That's true. Facts.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, that's crazy. But I always think about like, I don't know how deep we'll get into it, but with aliens, like, you know, that's why I brought up the religion, because religious, you know, they tell you that the sun revolves around the earth. Earth's 4,000 years old, yada, yada, yada. Dinosaurs aren't real. And it's like, as soon as I found out that the earth rotates around the sun, and the sun's one of hundreds of billions of stars inside of a galaxy, and there's hundreds of billions of galaxies, like, of course, we're just randomly out. We're not even in a center of a quadrant. We're just randomly out here.
Right.
I believe there's millions of other Earths with humans and people just like us.
Correct.
Which is crazy to think, and I just hope they don't come here and try to take my girl.
Dude, I just like heard this theory about like, we're the aliens, like the aliens we see are us, like in the future, like trying to reverse engineer like the alien stuff, to like work on time travel and stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, I love that stuff.
I can see that. I can see, like, I really think that there might be some sort of, whether it's another, you know, continent that we don't know about, or whether Antarctica, however you pronounce it. Yeah, like that. So if the poles shifted, that would be the biggest continent on the planet. Yeah. What the fuck is there? And who says there wasn't stuff there 2,000 years ago?
Why can't we go there?
Exactly.
I am super into like the conspiracy stuff, like the ice wall and like all that stuff going on up there.
Game of Thrones?
Like, I've never watched Game of Thrones.
There's an ice wall. It's right there.
I've literally never watched Game of Thrones.
It's good, but you need a lot of time. You need COVID. You need another COVID to watch.
That's like the one thing of like nerddom that I've always been cool with, but like honestly, like Lord of the Rings, the like Renaissance era dragons and stuff like that. I don't know why I've never been able to get like super into.
It's tough. I only watched it. I think 2019 is when I started watching, and that
Okay.
was like the
Figured it out.
last season. It's good though. It
Yeah.
is good, and it definitely is like once you get into that world, it's just like any other show where you're in this world and you really like fall into it. Because some shit you watch and you can't like you don't it
Yeah.
doesn't you don't
Captivate.
fall for it
Yeah.
basically. You know where you can just see through the acting, but there's a lot of shit and it's good.
Yeah.
I'll vouch for it, even though a lot of people don't like the end and stuff.
I should visit it. I should.
But yeah, aliens are crazy, and I can see that theory of like future one or just advanced one. You know, if there is something that controls stuff, whether it's just humans that have been 200 years ahead of us that are also on this earth that live in an underwater fucking thing. It's so easy to build if you thought about it. Like
There's so much space that we haven't even gotten to. Like,
exactly.
have you ever felt like you had like an experience with aliens? No, never felt like you saw anything or nothing.
No, the other night though, which was crazy, I closed my eyes and I just kept getting all these images of different creatures. Like, I wasn't thinking about it. It was just like I closed my eyes and I just hit boom, 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 boom. Tons of different like scary ass creatures. It was just the middle, laid down, go to sleep. And I literally had to sit up and I told my girl, like, I was like tweaking out. I don't know what the fuck it was. But
Weird.
that's kind of random. But no, I don't think I've ever had. Maybe when I was a kid or something. I remember when I grew up in Chicago from like 93 to 2005. And I remember seeing a plane like sitting still in the air. And I don't know if it was just the angle we were driving at, because O'Hare is really close to where I grew up.
Yeah.
But it was like literally we were driving and it's like sitting like this in the air. So that's the only weird thing that I remember. And,
Okay.
I used to stargaze a lot because I lived in McHenry, Johnsburg, which is 30 minutes west. Woodstock, we talked about this.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's like 20 minutes from there. Gets dark. I'd always watch for satellites and Starlink and whatever else.
Yeah.
But no actual, I haven't been visited. And sometimes, egotistically, I almost feel like if there is something else out there, I have it in me. Because like sometimes I see people that are here and I'm like, I'm not the same as you.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way.
Yeah.
And you might even feel this. It's just like you just look at people or you hear the things people say and it's just like, I just don't understand you.
Yeah.
It's the Kanye syndrome or some
Yeah.
shit. But you've had something happen to you?
Not anything happened to me, but I would say like I have definitely feel like I've seen stuff just like strange. I remember being probably like 11 years old and driving. I don't even remember where we were going, but we were driving through the woods, like super like western Wisconsin. And I swore I saw something in the distance that lit up and then was keeping up with us through the trees and then went past us and went straight up. Like
Was it snowing? Oh, I was going to say
no,
snowmobile.
no,
in the
it
trail.
was dark out, but it had
Fuck.
like red lights all the way around it. And it literally was going with us and then it stopped and then went straight up. Like I swear, like I remember vividly being like 11 and seeing that. That's like the most I've had. But I always ask people too. And like some of the stories that people have heard that have like, that I've heard from people, they're coming from people that are like very honest and like trustworthy people. So I have no like reason to doubt them. So it's like just hearing all these things, and I watch a ton of just like documentaries and super goofy stuff online. Oops, sorry. So
What'd you do?
just
You spitting?
no, just punching your
Oh,
table.
no, you're
That's
good.
all.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, aliens are interesting, and I don't know. Everyone thinks that they're like, scary or whatever the case be, but I think if something's that advanced, they're past like killing each other. I would hope,
Yeah,
because if you get that advanced, you're working together and doing
correct.
that. But
That's
yeah.
what I would like to think too.
Yeah.
It could probably help us out, if anything.
Or just I don't know. Did you have a mentor?
Yeah,
At all?
I did. I did. I would say my grandfather, that took me under his wing at Glorioso's would have been mentor for sure.
He owned it?
So yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So you worked there at some time?
Yeah. So Joe Glorioso is my grandfather and he started it.
That would be your mother's dad because
Yep.
the last name.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
Okay.
they were open for 74 years, have been. They just actually sold it, unfortunately, because everybody's
saw
pretty
that.
much passed away or moved away.
And you didn't want anything to do with it?
I
Or
wasn't
it's
given the
just-
opportunity. It's like typical family Sicilian drama. power, hunger, control,
But they'll sell it to
psycho.
some random people.
Yeah. Greed. They'd rather give
Money.
money to other people than to
They're
us.
done with it. They're done
Yeah.
with it. Is the family good at least?
No, no, they played my mom super nasty. it's yeah, it's
Damn.
horrible, but thankfully I have the store, and so I think a lot about my Nanu, and I like to at least think he'd be very proud of like what I have built, and screw the rest of them, because yeah, but my grandpa really took me under his wing. I started working there when I was 10, bagging groceries just in the front.
It's fun.
And then by the time I was 12, I was working there like 4 days a week every summer, and then every weekend growing up. And they would have me working in the warehouse. I would be doing stock, bagging groceries, cashier, produce, a little bit of everything. So um, it was dope.
That's fun.
It
I
was
can
very
I
dope.
can imagine a show getting filmed there. It's a good vibe. I've only been in there a few times, but
Definitely back in the day, because when we were
yeah.
across the street at the OG location, I mean, there was at minimum like 5 family members working at all times. Like at least there was days where we had like 9 different family members. It was crazy. It was like insane. But I loved it. I mean, we had so many family members that would come visit. It was cool. It was very, very fun. I love it. It's really what laid the like foundation of like my work ethic and just understanding business and understanding like the importance of working with your community and giving back,
Mhm.
and how your focal point should be building up, not only what you're working on, but the community around you, above filling your pockets, because that's what like creates longevity. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
knowing that is I'm sure you know it because you just said it, but seeing it from the outside, like you continuing that legacy of your family, like
Yeah.
owning a business,
Yeah.
contributing to the community of Milwaukee is cool.
Yeah.
That's cool of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Interesting. That's a good ass story.
yeah, yeah, he was
Wow.
he was the man. And then I just was lucky because like we said, our parents were divorced, so like me being like a young boy really pushed away from my dad because my mom was primary and my
Mm-hmm.
dad's the one who left. So I like really pushed back on my dad, and so working at Glorioso's, there was a ton of just like good dudes there who like took me under their wing, like guy named Kenny, Damon, Russ, some of these guys that really, because I started there so young, that by the time I was 13, we had spent so much time together that instead of these 40-year-old men treating me like a 13-year-old, punk
Mm-hmm.
kid, I was their coworker. It was
Yeah.
like I was holding my own, and so they would talk to me straight up and just give me advice and opinions, and it was good. It was good. It was very diverse and very balanced, like mentors I had from Gloriosos. Yeah.
It's good. Seems like it's really paying off too.
Yeah. Yeah, I like
That's
to think
good.
so, at least.
I think so.
Yeah.
I
Thank
see
you.
it from the outside. Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
What's your best ever flip that you've had, like $1 to 1,000? Can you even say it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're just waiting
Oh.
for this one.
Oh, I've had a couple. Okay. So I've had a couple crazy ones, I'll say. So one of them right off the bat, my mom found a t-shirt in the basement of her house when she was going through stuff. And it was a like 1994 comic images with Rogue from X-Men on it.
Okay.
And so in theory, free, because she bought it
Yeah.
30 years ago. And I told her, I said, let me sell this for you and I'll split the money with you. And I sold it for $1,200.
Holy fuck! And you told her you sold it for 20. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, then we split the. Came and I gave her $600. She was like, "You sold it for 600?" I said, "No, that's your half. I sold it for 1,200." She was like, "What the fuck?" It was so funny. It was so funny. Another one
Do you know who has that shirt? Like,
now.
is it in Milwaukee?
No, I sold it to a collector online.
Okay.
I've only seen it pop up like twice. So there's only like 3 floating around in like the vintage Marvel collector community for like t-shirts.
But later you could show me an image of it, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
totally.
Yeah.
Then I did I'm looking at Predator right now, and that's actually what it's about. A gentleman had passed away, his wife reached out to me and was looking to RIP, was looking to let go of some of his collection. And she was like, no, it's like a lot of stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when people say that, it's like, oh, yeah, okay. Well, apparently this guy worked for Goodwill for 30 years and had just been like backdooring stuff for himself forever. So
Okay.
it's the most Hot Wheels I've ever seen in one place. I mean, it was easily over 10,000 Hot Wheels. Just, I think it was like 20
In
Rubbermaids.
box.
Mostly in
Okay.
box. Yeah, it was like 15 Rubbermaids full of in box and then like 5 just loose, full, like
Okay.
30-gallon rubber. It was too much. But we were going through and I found an Alien vs. Predator all over print. And the reason why these were so expensive is you could only order them in the comic books. And
The shirt.
the shirt. And it was made
This is
to order.
recent.
Yeah, this was
I remember you
this
posting
was
about
November 2023.
I remember you posting
Yeah,
like
so a little over, yeah. And I found it and I bought just like a massive collection of stuff. And I was helping her pack up garbage and toss stuff. And, you know, a lot of the stuff I passed on, like she had a bunch of vinyl that she knew was valuable, but didn't know the extent. So I was helping her with value of stuff. But I just was going through so many items. I ended up grabbing that in a massive bundle of stuff. And that shirt, I think I got it, mind you, it was tattered, holes, yellow armpit
like Predator
stains.
got it.
Like, oh yeah, Predator shredded.
Okay.
And I still got 1.2 for it.
$1 million. Holy
1.2 billion Bitcoin.
You got to see his car outside.
Yeah, it's literally pure gold.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, no. But there have been some
Wow.
crazy. It's not my flip, but my favorite local flip, I'd say in the last like 5 years, this buddy of mine, RK Vintage, check him out.
Cut it.
No free promo. He's at the Goodwill bins and a bunch of
Okay.
these young kids are going through stuff, passing. He's like the third person to go in this bucket. He sees this shirt, flips open. It's this like old, like sand colored, like button up, looks on the tag. Harrison Ford with like measurements and all this, exclusively
Oh my God.
a property of Paramount or Universal, whatever. He sends it in, it gets authenticated. It's the shirt he wore in the movie for Indiana Jones. Like it's actually his on set. He sent it to auction and it sold for like $38,000 or something like that. And he paid 88 cents for it from Goodwill, like at the outlet. That is insane. Like to me,
Yeah, that's like, did you see that Van Gogh that got found recently at a garage sale?
crazy.
Yeah.
Whoever sold that's punching the air right now.
Yeah. They might not even know. Who knows?
True.
Like,
That's true.
yeah. Estate sales, this isn't a question, but like estate sales and garage sales, I mean, I used to eat at, and I'm sure you did, but then like 2019 for sure, I felt like there was a lot of competition coming into the ranks of this, but then 2020 and 2021, COVID, like I literally would show up to collections and there'd be other people there at the same time. Like, and there was one specifically, there was a comic shop owner that I didn't really like too much in Grays Lake, shout out. This guy had a bunch of comics and cards. And he was like, yeah, come at 3:00 or whatever. I get there. German Shepherd's fucking barking like a motherfucker at the door. I'm like, you sure? And he's like, yeah, come on in. And I go in, dog fucking grabs my knee, rips my pants, my 93 Levi's, my favorite fucking pants ever, bites me, lets her go, bites me again.
And he's like, no, he's chill.
Yeah, literally, and put her in the cage. And I was just so fucking just like shocked. And I was like, fuck, this looks like a good collection. I still got to check this.
Yeah.
So I went downstairs and this guy is also down there looking at the collection at the same time.
Already.
So he fucking started a bidding war, having another guy down there waiting for me. And I'm like, dude. And then it got to the point where it was like only $800 or something. I'm like, you take it. I don't even want it for that.
Yeah,
Like, I was
fuck
like,
it.
there's way too much. But there was one, I don't know. I guess I brought that up because there was just like a lot of competition. I remember there'd be a collection, for example, that I'd pay $5,000 for, you know. Guys would pay like $9,000 for it. And then they wouldn't even know they didn't make money until a fucking year and a half.
Yeah. To make 15%
If that.
eventually.
Exactly. And it's just like,
Fuck that.
it is what it is. But I know the people want it. I want it. I want a collab of some sort, whether it's a fucking 3v3 basketball game, softball. I know you're afraid to play softball, but that's okay.
I can't.
Kickball, anything, but we need to do
I would do.
we need to do a 3v3 or whatever. A Say Word versus Cosmic.
Yeah.
Loser leaves town and closes their store.
No, they have to change city. They have to swap cities.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to open in Milwaukee, I'll open in Shorewood.
But like we
we should do something. We should do something.
Even if it's kickball, just like something.
Yeah, kickball, basketball, soccer. Those are probably like the three things.
We know you're good at soccer.
Yes.
I'm Mexican, so I can play soccer too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Soccer is like the one thing out of all the sports, that's the sport I have the most confidence in. But I love basketball, even if I just love basketball.
I think a 3v3 would be fun, but you can't get your private fucking showing Buck players.
And the second player for Sayward, Andre Jackson Jr.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I'm gonna take the Thanasis. It's great. He's got free time right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll 1v1 him.
Dude, he's one of those guys that like they definitely exaggerated the height. Like they list him at like 6'7" or something, but when we stood next to him, I mean, he's probably like 6'4", maybe. Like, and I think they have him listed at 6'7", 6'8".
I mean, he's a cheerleader. They do it with the cheerleaders too. They say 110. She's really 125.
Are you Bucks fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
By proxy, yes, I am a Bucks. But born and raised, so that's something else that we're gonna get to. Born and raised for sure in Chicago. So Bears fan. Jordan, and that's also something too, because like when 11s came out or whatever, I had them, the Concords. Like I have my baby ones in the back. I'll pull them out. Like my original ones. So growing up in Chicago, it wasn't weird to like see Jordan stuff, but then you realize it's the whole world.
Yep.
So it's the same thing. So Bulls for sure, and then the Cubs. You know, I grew up 3.5 miles from the Cubs. I do not like the Brewers. I don't like the colors. I like the stadium. It's Wrigley North, as we call it down there. It's a great time being there. The Bucks. I love the Bucks. I love Giannis. Bulls are kind of hard to watch. I was a Oklahoma City fan with KD and Russ for a while, but then KD became the biggest bitch on the planet.
Yep.
Left 3-1 to the Warriors. Cubs came back down 3-1.
Yeah.
World Series. That was a crazy year. 2016 was a cool year. But yeah, then for football, and I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Since Pat came into the league, I just love him. Egotistically, he reminds me of what I would do on the field.
Okay.
So like he has that baseball, football, like unorthodox, run, jump, pass, shuffle pass, little fake random shit. Like that's exactly what I would do, and I love it.
There's
I love
a lot
the
of
play.
like baseball move.
Exactly. So I love watching him, and like with whether it's the Packers or whatever, and it's the Bears or whatever. I tell people it's like, okay, if you tell me I have to watch 16 shitty movies every single year and I got to do it because I live where that movie was made, I don't have time for that, dude. I just don't. So I'll move to like I love watching LeBron. I love like why would you push yourself? It's like, when people double down when they're wrong about something or whatever the case be. Like I respect you being a fan of where you grew up from, and we won't even go into that. Green Bay is further away from Milwaukee than Chicago, but like there's things like that. Like I respect it completely, but also I want to watch good stuff, and I'm not going to force myself to hate someone because they're not from where I'm from. It's like you were born on this earth, we're all here together. We were born in the U.S. Like just because they're 4 hours away from me or whatever, but it is. Being a diehard fan is also important, and I get it, like the college aspect or whatever. Like I don't watch college sports. I didn't go to college. I don't like fantasizing about young men playing. I just don't. I don't know if you like college at all, but
so I really like coaching. So I've coached soccer. I've coached volleyball. So I like watching college sports because the raw emotion of it, like literally
the crowd,
anybody can win on any. You can be unranked, go in and beat the number 1 seed simply because of the energy. Because
that's fun.
A bunch of these young kids just get turned on you start getting beat down. You're down 24-0, and you're a bunch of kids. It's hard to emotionally slide back from that sometimes and get everybody fired up. Like, dude, we're getting kicked. How are we going to come back from this? But when you're an adult and you're in the NFL and you've been doing it for 8 years, and you have all these grown professionals, it's like, dude, we've come back from worse in this league.
Yeah.
Like, we can do this. We're all professionals. We're all elite players. So that's where it's, I'll be honest, I don't like keep up with them. I don't like, oh, the game's on. You know, I don't like if it's on, it's like, oh, cool. I will enjoy this, but I'm not seeking it out or anything by any means. No.
Why'd that get brought up?
You
asked me if I was a Bucks fan.
Yeah, we were talking sports. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely moving to Milwaukee. Like the colors, the name,
the
environment, the team. I love it.
Yeah.
So that comes.
Who's your, obviously, I know Jordan's in there, but who do you think's in order, top 3 best basketball players of all time? And then I'm curious.
Order?
And then I'm curious to see what you like. Why? I'm always curious because to me, it's like I don't think there is a right answer. Like people are always like, no, this. If you don't think this, it's like no. I don't think it can be because opinion of greatness can be relative.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a diverse of LeBron, Michael, Shaq.
LeBron, Michael, Shaq. In that order?
In that order.
LeBron
yes.
number 1.
Yes.
Michael 2.
Yes.
Shaq 3. What puts LeBron over
competition
Jordan?
And longevity? So
okay.
LeBron's competition compared to Michael's competition is greater, and that's just life in general. We get better. The iPhone 1 is nothing compared to my 15. So when Jordan's playing all these 25-year-old plumbers and whatever else you want to call them, like the competition is not what they are. Everyone that does, whether it's Kyrie's handles, imagine those in the 90s.
Yeah.
He'd be AI crossed the fuck out of Jordan.
Yeah.
And that's common nowadays. So it just evolves. So whether it's the speed, the clutchness, I mean, yes, he's 4 for 10 in finals, but KD's bitch ass had to super team it with the greatest team ever to beat him 2 times in a row that no one even watched.
Correct.
So LeBron could easily have 6 or 7 titles, but they've literally come after him for that. And now it's like I grew up in Chicago, I get it, but it's the competition and longevity to me. It's just like competition becomes better. You can't, it's the same thing with like the Packers winning however many before the Super Bowl. It's like, dude, they're wearing leather helmets and they're running 540s and shit. Like it's just not the same competition. So it's hard to
I don't think
compare.
It takes away from what was accomplished, but I don't think you can say that those wins and those accomplishments hold the same weight as like
you're talking about Jordan or
just sports in general. But like you said with the Packers, like come on, winning a Super Bowl now, look at how many all-star players are on active rosters, like people that will go down in the NFL like Hall of Fame playing right now on active rosters versus those years when they were playing.
Would run teams. Any person, any mid-tier player right now would destroy the league 50 years ago.
Exactly.
And so it's hard. So that's why it's almost generational. That's why I would pick LeBron, because he's standed the test of time and he's still everyone's father. Yeah.
I'm surprised you picked LeBron just coming from Chicago, but I agree. See, for me, I'm so torn because I believe I'm a numbers person. So like what you accomplish and like your percentages and everything. But I also believe in like your overall like resume. And like you said, Jordan played against amazing Hall of Famers, but LeBron played against like everybody, and the duration. I mean, he was even playing as early teams, like he was still playing against Jason Kidd and Dirk, but he was also playing against players like, you know, like you said, Kyrie. Ray Allen was still playing, the Paul Pierce teams, like the Spurs teams with Tony Parker and Tim Duncan. Like there were just so many crazy teams and dynasties. And I mean, he's playing through Kobe. He's playing through like you said, KD and Westbrook and Harden and OKC, the Steph super teams. Like there's so many things happening, and like even the Derrick Rose years, like there's so much. It was just so different. So okay, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, so it's purely because of that competition based.
What makes Shaq take that third spot for you?
Because the dominance, just the overall dominance. He's just He didn't even try. He was just too fucking dominant. Just, yes, terrorizing real fucking man down there, but he can't shoot. So that's like why he's 3, because maybe some people even put him at 1 or some stupid shit. But the dominance is where he needs to be on that list, because no one can do what he did with that. Yes, there's, shooters. You could put Steph. He changed the game. He can shoot the ball from wherever. That's fine, but it's just not the same with that. Like, he could literally, if he wanted to, probably if he tried, get 50, 20, 10 every game.
Yeah.
But he didn't try. He didn't even try to fix his free throws. That proves to you that he's just too big to even like fail.
People had answers for Steph. You can double team him. You can, do this, do that. There were ways to at least slow him down. Now, don't get me wrong. There were still nights where that did nothing and he put up 40 points, 50 points, and he shot, 8 for 9 from the 3 or 10 for 11, whatever. But there was no answer for Shaq.
Steph?
Yeah, for Steph. There was no answer for Shaq. Like, that's why they literally created Hack-a-Shaq to just, please, God, stop this man. Like, we're going to just put in our bench players just to stop you and hopefully hurt you enough to slow you down. Like, that's insane. Like, yeah, dominance to say the least. I loved watching Shaq.
Yep, so I like that. I mean, Kobe could be up there too, but it's just like, he's basically Michael. So I'm not just going to put 2 Mikes up there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's literally, and now we got the new Anthony Edwards as our 3rd Michael. You see some of those, like, he's good, but also he's got the play and the heart, but he also has the laziness of Shaq. I feel like he wants shit, but he doesn't at the same time. Yeah, he's very chill. I just don't think he has like that full on, just like, that underbite where he wants to just kill everyone. And that, I guess we could bring that up too, is like money. I think people get paid way too much money, and now the goal is to just get to the league and get paid and be done. There's so much mid in the leagues because it's too much money. There's too much money.
Yeah.
You're too comfy. You're done. You don't even need a ship. You already got the money. Your family's good forever. Everyone's good.
Generational money.
That's like Joel Embiid or whoever. Like, you can see it. Like, they just don't care.
He's such a bum.
Yeah.
You saw that tickets were $1, and they said, would you rather buy in Arizona or go to a Sixers game? So many people swiped up, and they were like, oh, bro, Arnold Palmer all day.
Yeah, the Sixers are sorry, and so are the Eagles. Fuck them. Yeah, that wasn't even a good Super Bowl halftime show. Fuck you.
You're not a fan of Kendrick.
No. Not. I mean, I am, but he's just like, sometimes it just feels like try hard fake street poetry to me, and it's just like corny. It's like trying to make people that think they're hard, like, basically get I don't know what the word is, reassurance that they are also hard or something, like, yeah, that's Kendrick, because he's a street poet and I'm a street poet and I rap my shit while I drive my shit.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know. There's that. So we're gonna go back to space for a second. So say 30 years from now.
Okay.
Space travel's super easy. We're going to Mars all the time. We're going to the moon all the time. It costs $2,000 to go up. Are you gonna go?
What's there? Like,
an amusement park. Good stargazing. I opened an amazing Mexican restaurant on Mars, and you can only get it on Mars, and it's super safe. 3-week.
I don't think so.
No, is it because of family, or is it just because? Like, I understand if I had kids and shit, I wouldn't ever want to risk anything with my life at all. But
I would say, yeah, probably family. Anxiety. I don't know. 30 years. I feel like in 30 years, there would still be so much stuff on Earth I would want to explore.
It's a good answer, yeah.
I don't think I'd want to.
Have you left the country?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've been to Italy. I was in Italy for like 2.5 weeks. I went to England in 2010 for a girl for like 2.5 weeks. So, yeah. It was dope. I'd love to go again. We're supposed to go to Japan next year after our wedding. So.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
For the honeymoon?
Yep.
That's cool. Yep. Yeah, you got to go and talk to some of these Japanese guys about the Pokemon.
Yeah. Oh, I want to just ship so much stuff back.
We'll see how it is when it's there.
Yeah,
but,
true.
Like, I plan on going within 5 years or so, because like you've looked at trial and stuff, like even a decent seat, like coach seats, like $1,800, and you're fucking like this.
Dude, this kid
What is
just
it?
came into the store. He said he's been on a notification list. He just got round trip airfare for $950. It's from Chicago to Minnesota,
Yeah.
California,
To Japan.
over. Yeah.
Is that normal?
I think so. Usually it's like at least 2. That's why it's almost better. What my thought process was like fly to Cali, spend like a day or 2 in Cali, then get on a plane and go.
And my idea was Hawaii. And then, because I want to go see Lost, all the stuff where Lost was built.
Okay.
Or not built, where Lost was filmed.
Hawaii sounds so dope.
Hello? You've been to Hawaii?
No, have you? That's what I was listening to.
No.
It looks absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know how it is after the fires and shit. But
That's true. Well, why'd our government burn it down with their laser satellite? Why didn't Oprah save us? She asked us for money.
Yeah.
Crazy.
For real, though. If you want to get into that, we can get into that. I don't know if it was Jewish space lasers, like you're saying it was.
No, I didn't say Jewish.
He did. I cut it, though, because I didn't want him to get in trouble.
No.
He even did the...
No. Yeah, it was Oprah and The Rock. They're making room for their bunkers.
Yeah.
That's what I'm convinced.
Yeah. They need a new Epstein Island. I don't know.
Oh, God.
People say he's alive still. There's a good chance that he's still alive. I don't know if you saw him getting wheeled out of the... First off, why is his fucking body uncovered? Pulling a body out of a place. Why is his body out?
Right. I've never
it's
seen
definitely
that.
him. Check this out. But like people did a little thing with his ears and stuff and his nose. His nose that was dead was like this. His real nose was like this.
Mm-hmm.
Weird shit.
I didn't see his body.
I didn't see it either. They didn't let me see it though.
Have you seen that video that they're saying Michael Jackson's alive because the ambulance that took him, there's a video that matched the license plate. You got to pull up the video, I'm telling you. And the same ambulance that picks up Michael Jackson's body from Neverland, somebody follows it and it gets to the parking garage at the hospital and the back door's open and he gets out and walks into the back doors of the hospital. I swear this video, and the video is released like the week of him dying. Like it wasn't like it was like years later. It's literally like somebody uploaded it to YouTube off their like old camera phone. Sorry, I told you, I always fall down these wormholes. I love the conspiracy stuff.
No, I haven't seen that.
But I could see him being alive still because everybody wants to protect him. They don't want the shit getting out.
And where else would he be? Epstein's Island. Mm-hmm. Sanctuary. I don't even know if he really did that shit to the kids.
Or he was the facilitator and all the celebrities were fucking up there like it was a goddamn rave.
What, Michaels or Epstein? Epstein for sure did shit.
Michael.
Yeah, Michael. I heard he was a cocksmith.
Michael?
Yeah. He would love the ladies.
Yeah. Oh, I think that that there may have been situations that were like super misinterpreted or like maybe like sketchy. But after watching a lot of the documentaries and a lot of these series, like people that initially said something like came forward and was like, yeah, I like was coerced into like being like saying that he did when I was a kid, and now being an adult, like looking back, like that wasn't the case. And so like, I don't know, it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. But people say that they killed Michael because of everything he was owning and buying. They wanted his all the masters he was buying.
Yeah, he was buying it? Wasn't he buying
he
the
owned
Beatles
the Beatles,
yes.
He owned Eminem, he owned like all these people's like, you know, all of their masters. And he was just buying everything up and controlling everything. And that's why people are saying that, you know, Hollywood or the uppers or whatever, like got to his doctor and they were poisoning him.
Munching by proxy or whatever, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. But then if he's alive still, then he would still own the stuff. Or it's just the fact that, I don't know, it's crazy.
Give everything to us and we'll let you live.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, I don't want to get political, but like that's literally like everyone before all this Trump shit, anything like this, everyone was like, yeah, both Republicans, Democrats are both crooked as fuck. They're all getting paid, you know? And then now, I don't even know what I was saying, but like it was like we all Like, yeah, everyone had a gun to their head and they had to do shit for lobbyists, and now it's just one size. It's just like you're saying. It's always been that way, and it's
Yeah.
so easy to do that. If I come to you, you want to be so nice and so good, and then I come to you, hey Benny, take this phone really quick, and your kids are tied up and your mom's tied up, and you go, you're going to need to pass these 3 bills, and I'm going to give you some money, but you're going to pass these or everyone that you've ever known is dead.
Like, if
And
people don't think shady
that's
stuff like that is going
yeah.
on, it's like, come on, dude, don't be naive. Like,
Mm-hmm.
look at the stuff that's going on right in front of our faces. You don't think there's way worse stuff going on behind the scenes? Like, yeah. So
Yeah, it's fucking it's
mm-hmm.
a weird time right now.
Land of the two free sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I always like to say we're like a giant amusement park, and free. We're free to do whatever we want within the amusement park. Like, hey, you have freedom to either go shop at Say Word or Cosmic, but that's because that's your only two choices.
Yeah.
So,
And the carnies are running the show.
I'm not a carny.
No, I meant as far as like, I feel like the government is being run by a bunch of fucking carnies.
Yeah,
It's a fucking circus.
yeah, carnivores, that's for sure.
Yeah, true.
Fucking crazy shit. But like I said, before all this crazy shit went down, like everyone was cool with saying, like, yeah, clearly both sides. Like, if you want to become a politician, it's because you want to grease the wheel, or I become an alderman, and then my cousin has a construction company, and I'm the one that's doing Lake Drive for 4 years, and I'm getting a kickback. Like, that's what's happening. And now the internet, all of a sudden, is exposing all of that, because I bet they didn't think that the internet was going to be around when this shit happened, or whatever the case. And now they're still continuously doing it, which is fucking nuts. All of these politicians that are worth $100 million and shit. It's like, what?
Too much money.
Yeah, but
too much money going up and not being spread where it should be.
Exactly, it's crazy. Yeah, I guess so. That brings me to the point. What did you think when you heard that I was opening up? What was your first thoughts?
About time another store opened up in the area, because like you said, like, there's other places around, but like, not to throw shade, I always think that like having more stores, not necessarily doing the same stuff, but under the same umbrella is good, because Milwaukee's small, but like, Milwaukee people are lazy sometimes. So like, I hear people being like, yo, your store's so far. And I'm like, oh, dang, where do you live? And they're like, oh, I'm on 10th and, Scott. I'm like, bro, that's like 12 minutes away. And they're like, but then I got to get on the freeway. And I'm like, and get here then in 9 minutes. Like, but then when you have other stores, like, people are like, oh, let's make it a Saturday. We're going to go to Cosmic. We're going to go to Say Word. We're going to go to, now we're going to get food on the east side. So I was geeked. Because I know, like, especially when you first opened, like, we talked that you had like connections with like, you were getting more with like distributors and stuff. And I knew that's not a world I was ever going to dive into. So knowing that
That's right.
there was going to be a place close that I could like have access to product that like I personally wanted, and I didn't have to like go buy it online. I could just get it here. Was dope.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know if you were like, this motherfucker, this Kansas City Chief, fucking Chicago piece of shit coming into my fucking town. What are you doing here?
No.
Sending a Glorioso mob to me and shit.
Dude, that's not funny. There's a dude who has
cut it.
There's a dude who has a thrift store on the other side of town, and he called me one day, because we have previously had
we talked
beef
about this,
with each other.
Yeah.
And he actually thought that I had mafioso outside his store. And I said, dude.
Is that the name? Is that what you call mafia people, mafioso, or is it because it's Glorioso?
I mean, Italians.
Mafioso.
Mafioso is just like is like mafia in Italian.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a quarter Italian, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grippo and Cacchetti is part of the family.
Okay. Super Italian names.
Yeah.
Mom side?
Mom, my grandfather's side. So my mom's dad is Grippo. And his father's, I think, I might have to cut this. He might get fucking pissed at me for not knowing this. But like,
that's one thing I regret is that I didn't like record more, or like even write down, have some form of documentation of like the stories my grandpa used to tell. Cause just like old Brady Street stories and like old Italian, like mafia stuff like in the city, and just like the way that things used to go down in like the 40s and 50s in the city, like just crazy, just super crazy, really good stories. But yeah, that's super awesome to get your dad on. That'd be sick.
Yeah, grandfather.
Oh yes, well,
my dad's a short Mexican that lives in Mexico.
oh yeah, that's right. You said went and moved to Mexico. Family.
Yeah, shout out if you get internet there. I guess I don't know.
Órale, güey, ¿qué pasa, señor?
There you
Yo
go.
hablo español.
Yeah, he called you.
No, I did not.
Clip it. All right. Damn. What's one thing that stands out about Milwaukee, and then what's one thing that Milwaukee needs to fix?
Ooh, okay. One thing that stands out about Milwaukee is that everybody knows everybody. If you take the time, I guarantee you, you can pretty much pick anybody off the street over the age of like 25, and you can connect in some way, whether it be coworkers, roommates, families, like some way, shape, or form. You can connect 2, 3, 4 degrees of separation from like anybody in the city. It is so crazy the amount of people that come in the store, and we end up being like, oh, you went to school with my mom, or like, oh, you were the best friend of my babysitter when I was a kid. Like, just strange, bizarre.
Sounds like a lot of cousin fuckers. Accidental cousin fuckers.
I hope not. Incest is best when your sister says yes, is what they say in northern Wisconsin.
See?
It's on the flag.
What flag?
The northern Wisconsin flag. No, I'm kidding.
I'm not from here, so I believe it.
Right? Yeah. Northern Wisconsin gets another word. You're either from Milwaukee or you're from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
There's two different things. I'll be honest. I feel that.
Or Racine, and we don't like
that's a whole nother thing. So one thing that they need to change is blind loyalty. I think sometimes in Milwaukee, people will be like, well, I can't support this brand because my buddy has a brand. Or I can't go to, I can't check out this new restaurant because my buddy works at this restaurant. Like, people have this like loyalty, small town mind, to where if you don't expand and support all of these local businesses, and you don't catch like the vibes at all these places and help promote them, then it's just, places are just going to keep closing. Like, I mean, we've been open now for 4 to 5 years now. Like, how many stores have we seen within a 5-mile radius, or stores we know, close? Like,
it's a little self-inflicted, but
yeah. I would say some of them are self-inflicted. I think being obviously like super active on social media and just conducting good business are like obviously key factors. But yeah, I think Milwaukee needs to get better at not shying away from trying something new. And I understand the gatekeep. A lot of people don't want to put other people on to their spot because they don't want to blow the spot up. But those places aren't going to survive unless you put the homies on. So
interesting. And I feel like that answer really comes from owning a store for sure, because that's something that I wouldn't even thought about. I would have thought about like food and potholes. That's what Milwaukee needs.
Because we'll hear guys be like, oh dang, like I ain't gonna tell nobody this is my new spot, and I'm like, well, tell a couple people. You don't need to tell everybody, but tell a couple of the homies.
I hear
don't
that
keep it all to yourself.
Too. Yeah, they're like, I got a honey hole for this. And
well, especially with the cards, dude. Like, I'm sure you have people that like, they don't want to tell anybody. They don't want to where else can you go and walk in and, oh, they have packs? Like, dude, I went to Walgreens. I was going to grab something today, and there's a big sign like, attention, no longer carrying Pokemon cards like in this store. And it was like, people aren't finding it. So yeah, I get it as the consumer side, because I used to do the same thing, but the reality of tell the right people. You don't need to blow up the spot. You don't need to post it on like Facebook Marketplace, the store you just found. But I mean, you could, but at least let the homies know. Throw a flick on Instagram,
Yeah.
Spread the word.
Supporting, and there's a lot of passive aggressiveness in Milwaukee, I've noticed.
100%.
And it's the small town, small mind stuff and gatekeeping, and it's interesting, and hopefully even like conversations or whatever. I think I'm fucking nuts with people in the store, just talking like a sailor, fucking doing whatever, making videos that are definitely just like, not for the faint of heart and stuff. And I don't know. I just wanted to butterfly effect people and make sure, just open minds.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Even if I get hated for it, maybe they are like, why do I hate this guy?
I think being unapologetically yourself is like always the best way to go, because if you treat everybody the same, it's like, oh no, he's not being like mean to me or like picking me out. This is something he doesn't like or something we shouldn't do. It's like, I think we live in a day and age where like everybody takes everything so personal and everybody's like super sensitive. And it's like, yeah, that needs to be like changed because I'm sick of it being like, I think just banter, like you were saying, you have like history in comedy and background in comedy. You write a lot of stuff to where like if people can't even take jokes these days, and it's like it's kind of unfortunate because it's like everybody's so hypersensitive now. But hopefully we can slowly regress back to like, it's not about like being non-PC and like saying all these like messed up words and like all this stuff, but like just loosening up and being like, it's okay to laugh and reflect. And we're not bashing somebody or like shredding a community or talking down about anyone. It's just, this is supposed to be like an escape, and everyone's just supposed to banter about whatever we're talking about. So
I go hard at Cudahy in here though.
Yeah. Cudahy. Yeah.
See,
yeah.
he knows,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
it's
no, I have nothing bad to say about Cudahy.
no, I don't believe that.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
It's
Don't they have
Milwaukee
7
thing.
bridges where most people commit suicide at?
Is that what it is?
No.
The Home Bridge is like the most suicided bridge.
It's a good ass bridge to do it.
That's why they put up all the gates.
Yeah.
I watched a guy jump off about a year ago, actually.
You were just chilling?
I was driving and he was standing in front of his car, and all of a sudden I saw him. And
you were on the bridge?
I was driving. Yeah, I was driving on the bridge, and if you see a car parked on there, you know
what's going down.
What's going
on?
on?
It's that or a couple Asian people taking photos.
I've seen that too. Or if there's fireworks, people park up there. But yep. And I unfortunately have like a lot of history with suicide in my life. So I was like, oh, there's a guy. Please don't. Oh, he's not standing there anymore. So,
did you call it in?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. But I had my kids in the car, so I tried to not react, because they would have, I'm not trying to spook them or point it out or anything, obviously. So I just waited.
Hey, look, a bird.
The other way.
No, is that a plane? A bird? No, it's Superman.
Fine.
That sucks. Yeah, no, I'm sorry that you've had people that have taken their own life.
Trauma forges greatness, I guess they say.
It does, for sure.
Yeah.
It does, but
yeah.
yeah, that's fucking crazy. I haven't even lost like anyone in my life, which is fucking terrifying.
Really?
Yeah.
That's honestly
all my grandparents, all my uncles, all my aunts, all my brothers, all my cousins, and they're all.
And you have a big family.
Not small, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's coming.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How old are your grandparents?
They were born my dad's parents are getting close to 80, but my grandparents 54 and 56. So that means they're 71 and 69.
If my nanny was still alive, he'd be 103 on 420.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom was 19 when she had me. My grandmother was 19 or 18 when she had her. So my grandmother was like 38 or 39 when I was born, which is crazy.
And you're the oldest? Yeah. Okay.
Do I give that vibe? I always wonder. Like, I can't tell if you're the oldest or not, or you're a solo child or anything. You kind of feel like the youngest. I am? You kind of feel like the youngest.
I am. I'm the youngest of 3, and I have 2 older sisters.
Yeah.
That's crazy that you haven't had anybody pass. So a little Brady Street, Milwaukee lore. My grandmother, my Nana, Glorioso, she's the reason why they finally put up crosswalks and yields all up and down Brady Street. She got hit by a car in 2004 Mother's Day weekend from a speeding car on the street. She was crossing going to Glorioso's, and that was in '04. So that was like my first. I was almost 13. She did. She got hit on a Saturday morning and passed Monday, Mother's Day weekend, '04. No, that's unfortunately it's, coming up on 21 years now, which is crazy.
You can drink in heaven now.
Yeah. Hey, gang, gang. No, she's been drinking the whole time, I'm sure. Enjoying it. Very Sicilian.
See, that's how you take a joke.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
And so that was like my first big funeral. It was crazy. The like amount of like old Italian people that came from like Sicily and just like Chicago and California. I mean, we had a wake, and the wake lasted like 7 hours for visitation. We had a line, literally the line we went on that funeral home on Farwell, literally from that funeral home out the door all the way down to Comet was like the line for people to come in. Like, it was insane. But I just lost a lot of people in a short window from like 04 to like 2000 and like 14, we'll even call it that, like 10-year stretch. I had gone to like 15 funerals. Some of my best friends passing away, a lot of like immediate family members. It was a crazy time.
At least you were younger, kind of. So it's like, what sucks with me is my whole life I've had all these people for 31 years. It wasn't like my grandmother was 90 and died when I was 7 or something.
Yeah,
like,
I got used to it and like seasoned, I guess, because of all the death. But yeah, that's crazy to be 30 and plus and not. That's crazy. But very, very, I will say, awesome that you've been able to spend that time with them, because I always talk that I would give anything for my Nanu to be able to see the store and like what I've been able to do. So
hopefully she's here in spirit or whatever.
Yeah, both of them. I have them tattooed on me, and like I'm named after both my grandfathers. Cheek. Yeah, one on each. And then when I twerk, they kiss. It's really great.
Oh my god! Oh my god! That's amazing.
Clip it.
I will clip that. And I'll tag Gloriosos.
Dude, do it. It's not even the family anymore. They're going to be like, what's this? And it's just
collab,
an AI.
Just collab. Don't look at it. Collab post. Have you ever had a really good private sale? I'll bleep the name if you do, but like a closed door private sale that no one's heard about.
That no one's heard about.
Yeah, I mean, we know you did cheerleading Antetokounmpo.
I would say I used to be your favorite NBA and like NFL players plug. So there's a gentleman's name. You can put this in. His name's A Squared.
Okay.
He sells to professional athletes.
Okay.
Throughout all leagues. And during COVID, all the athletes were asking for vintage. He already had sneakers, he had designer, but he needed like large volume of like good vintage and like large to 3XL. And so he would come.
Oh yeah, they were huge.
Huge. And so they would come in. He would come in, and for whatever reason, it was always on holidays. He'd always be like, "Hey, I'm only in town for Easter for an hour and a half. Like, can you open the store?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I don't have 2 kids or anything. Sure, yeah, let me get my ass together." But I did it because I knew he would cash out. I mean, he was coming in and grabbing 50, 100, 120 items to where we were having to spend 4 hours restocking. And so that was something to where I would reshare the pictures. But I know he started getting like, Say Word was getting bigger. So I think he started feeling like I was kind of trying to like impose and steal the customers. But like, this dude was traveling all over the country. I got 2 kids in a store. I'm not traveling.
You're just proud of what's happening.
It was just cool to see pieces I curated go from him. And I always gave him credit. I always believe in giving people credit where it's due. But yeah, we had that connection. I mean, we were doing business together frequently for like 3 years. And every transaction was phenomenal. And it was cool to see professional athletes wearing my stuff. And like, some of the players then did eventually come into Say Word, or like would have Say Word stickers on like their books or like their computers when you'd see them walk down the tunnels or on their water bottles. So stuff like that was super, super dope. So yeah, that's probably like the first thing that comes to mind of like private behind the scenes kind of thing.
Has anyone come in that you didn't like realize at first? Or maybe you did, but just came in randomly, was like, "Oh fuck, hey Dame."
A lot of the times when the players come in, they don't give me a heads up, or they'll just...
But they just show up, and then you know who they are.
Yeah. Oh, dude, especially when I was in the old store, like, it was 200 square foot, so, like, 6'8" dude comes in like sweats. I'm like, oh, hey,
Monster Truck.
Johnny O'Brien. Like
Yeah.
we had people like that. But then we have a lot of athletes like Dare and Arike Ogumbale who are from Milwaukee, and they're professional athletes now who still come and visit their family. They go to Bucks games and they come and see me when they're in town once in a while, or I've shipped them stuff. So that's been super cool too. Big like local supporters. So
Yeah, it's cool. I don't think I've had anyone famous in here.
that you know of. Maybe.
I know everything. Sorry to tell you. No,
Toys,
yeah,
I feel like
I know Robin Lopez. I think it's Brooke or Robin that really collect toys.
they both
Big
are
Star
super
Wars
in
guys.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I've tried to contact them, and I did the verified thing that you told me about. I'm on a fucking wait list.
And you know what? You know why I found out yours is more expensive?
Yeah.
Business account.
I switched, so
Okay.
now I'm a content, so now I can use Song,
Okay.
which is cool. Also, I forgot to say this in our pod. With the YouTube and stuff, I'm not paying one fucking penny for promo. So all the shit that I do is real. I'm
Yeah,
not
don't-
boosting my shit.
Don't pay because
Yeah,
once you start
exactly.
paying, then they make you keep paying
Exactly.
because then you mess up the algorithm. Yeah.
But yeah, no one. So with that check, I'm on a wait list though now
Weird.
because I think I just changed to creator.
Oh, so they
So
want to
now
like
I'm on a-
verify. like-
Exactly. So once I get that, then I'm gonna start hitting people up because I want to have people come in and shop and talk. Just talk. I want to be a spot. Where people
Yes.
come in and this feels professional enough where they're not gonna fucking. I'll sit down.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. This changes.
It's fun,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's Yeah. So nothing like insane. Like everyone's seen the. Is it Theanis? They-
Thanasis.
Thanasis.
Yep.
And he bought stuff too, right?
So Slam Magazine gave him a credit card and was like, "Yep, go buy what you want." And he was like, "Okay."
You can do that here too, Thanasis.
Yeah, right. There's all of those guys, like a lot of those guys love like anime and like Legos. And a lot of them have kids. Like I'm surprised, you know what? I'm surprised Bobby Portis hasn't come in here because he takes care of his family during holidays and birthdays like crazy.
I'd see those eyes down the street.
I'd hit him up.
What's funny is there's a kid, Kevin, shout out Kevin from Johnsburg. He's autistic. Bobby did a little camp at Johnsburg School,
Okay.
and Kevin scored on him. There's
Really?
a big video about it. Yeah, so there's that little connection.
Ballin'.
Yeah, he's balling. But yeah, we do have to do a collab for sure, like 1,000%. Come up with something. And can you hear me? Yeah, you can hear me like this.
Yeah.
Welcome to Jazz Radio, Studio 17.
Smooth
Yeah.
jazz.
Another question I didn't even have, but I did. Where does Say Word come from? The name.
The name.
Yeah.
So when I was in high school, I used to
Mhm.
do a lot of graffiti. I used to paint a lot. And a group of guys, upperclassmen that I used to paint with, always said like word, like, oh, for sure, word up, or
Mhm.
yeah, oh, say word, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and then I noticed like they would they'd do like a piece in my black book and they'd put like word up
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. And then one time my buddy, Michael Serta, he does sign like
He was
window
in
painting.
Superbad, Michael Cera.
Yeah. Close.
Okay.
It's close. That's what close. Just without the D. So he does like windows painting, he does like music production, he's done like a bunch of
Like
different stuff.
professional, like barbershop window painting. I think I've
Yes.
seen.
Yeah, he just
Have you
did
posted about it?
Yeah,
He did a
he's-
tattoo parlor or something
Yep,
recently?
he
I
did.
saw that.
His girl opened a shop called Ruby's Bagels. He does a bunch of
Okay,
stuff. He's
that's dope.
phenomenal work. But he did a piece, and at the bottom he put word ... say word, and it was say word and then WERD, and something about the way that looked, I was just like, damn, that looks so sick. So then I adapted it, and it was, I mean, it's been my Instagram handle since Instagram started. It was, I think, my Twitter handle when I had Twitter. Like this is starting back in like 2009. It might have even been my original Tumblr name too, like Foursquare, like all that shit.
MySpace.
Yeah. No, this was post MySpace. For sure, post MySpace. But yeah, and then when I went to make a store, I had like a couple different ideas as to what I wanted to name it.
What was some of the ideas?
Benny's Bodega was like the initial
You would
one.
have sold sandwiches, had a cat.
And that's why I was like,
Gloriosos.
people aren't gonna
Yeah.
know. But then once I thought it was like a clever name that I could really play up the like I'm coming from like a family that owns an Italian grocery store in Delhi. Like I could really play into like I would get deli cases as like the card cases and like shit like that. Just like really feed into it.
Instead of a bag, use a bagel or something.
Yeah, I take like the parchment paper. That's how you get your cards.
You could do that. Though. You got the little foldable.
I know. I could do. I could do it.
Have a deli menu on the back.
It would be fucking hilarious. So that was a thing for when I did graffiti for a while. I was writing a name called Act 2. So then I wanted to do that because I'm like, oh, it's vintage. It's the second act. But then I looked into it and there was like 9 Act 2 vintage stores in the country already. Or like second act, Act 2 vintage. And there was, I mean, I'm talking like probably 15 of them maybe. And I was like, oh, okay, fuck that. Like, don't want to do that. So then I was like, so many people that are in like fashion and music, like a lot of people still say, oh, word, or like word up, or like, oh, for sure, bro, like word, I'll talk to you later, stuff like that. So people were saying words so much, and it was still my handle. It was very much me. Once I started like playing with logos and fonts and I had everything together, I just really liked the way it looked. The misspelling of it, I thought, made people like give
very
like
Milwaukeean.
Yeah, it like gave people like a double check, like a double look, like why is it even spelled bad? It just like made you want to take a double look at it and ask questions and inquire. You know how many people think it says "stay weird," and I'm like, oh, y'all are adding so many extra letters.
Ben says "say weird."
Sometimes he says "say weird." Yep. Ben sometimes does.
Don't
say
the N word.
Ben, don't say the N word.
No, anyone don't say N word. I'm gonna start. Sorry, cut that. No, leave it in. Fuck it. No one even knows. I had to cut all the N words out.
I know. You just went on a tyrant there. It was crazy.
Hey, we're Italian. We can say it.
Yeah, just forget about it.
Cops or Culvers. That's not I just popped in my head.
You're
taking too long.
For food or
anything.
for anything?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going cops for both, actually.
Thank
you. Yeah.
This is like one of the easy ones when you do Mario versus Hulk. It's like, come on, Hulk. Or am I stupid?
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's Hulk for sure. Yeah. My God.
He got me.
Yeah.
I like those when you do those verses.
Thank you.
Yeah, the verses are fun.
Dude, the Mario, for me, my argument against like Mario being weak is like, bro, he dies after 1 hit. Unless he's got a mushroom, then it's 2 hits.
Yeah, he can't get touched. It's like Sonic is in original games, right? He gets hit a couple times and he's done.
Same thing twice.
You can hear me? Yeah, Sonic.
He's got to have rings, and if he doesn't have rings, he dies. 2 hits too.
Exactly.
Weird. Soft.
But it's an arcade.
Yeah.
Imagine if you didn't.
Yeah. That's what the codes are for. Shout out Game Shark.
You ready for that Nintendo Wii yet from me?
Nintendo Wii?
Or not Wii, fucking Switch. I have that Switch. You ready for one yet? I'm going to bring it to Midwest Classic and just trade it.
Fuck yeah. For some singles or something like
Pokemon product? Singles, yeah. Do you believe in the Big Bang or simulation theory or anything cool?
Oh, man. I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know. Something happened.
It's a cop out, but I respect.
Some shit happened, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I know something happened. I don't know because I believe it. Obviously, dinosaurs real. If you don't think dinosaurs are real, you're smoking rocks. I think that. Yeah, I don't know. I think that there's
Jeopardy music.
Okay, I think for me, it's literally the episode of It's Always Sunny in my mind plays where they have the debate about like Christianity and like dinosaurs and like faith. And it just reminds me because he's like, oh, so you've looked at the data, these numbers from these scientists that you've never met. It's like, well, he's got a point. I'm just have the faith that the information I'm being fed and have read is indeed factual to the best of our knowledge and ability. But yeah, I believe evolution, cavemen, and just we developed more and more over time because look at how much we've evolved over the years. But again, how do we know that that's even real history? How do we know that the world we're living in didn't just fucking get created 30 years ago and that's just shit they're telling us?
I say that sometimes where like 1980 just happened and you ask your grandparents or whatever, like, what was it like being a kid? They're like, I don't know. It's kind of cool. I don't really remember much. And then they just go on with their day. Or you can have implanted memories. Like, it's crazy as fuck.
Yeah.
This whole thing is crazy as fuck. But I'm happy we can be here and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? It's fun.
Fortunate. Hey,
fun.
getting up every day is a blessing, right? Of some kind from someone.
For some it is.
That's true.
Some it's a curse.
600-pound life. They're miserable. You watch that?
I've seen it.
TLC. It's pretty good.
I can't. It's disgusting. I did see that one clip where it was a black couple and she gets on the scale and it goes like 7 something and he goes, "Damn!" Did you see? Have you seen that?
Oh, I watch them all. I watch a lot of that stuff. I watch like 90 Day Fiance,
Strange Addictions.
Strange Addiction, Hoarders. Yeah, I watch all
Strange
that.
Addiction. I've been writing a bunch of fake ones, like for skits that I want to do.
I thought you meant like you were writing in.
No, because they're so fucking nuts. Like the one girl that eats couch cushions, like cotton or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, it doesn't sound real. And then they show these people and they're doing it.
Yeah. So I wanted to do a bunch of different skits. I've been writing tons of stuff for years about it. Like just jot down like my Strange Addiction is yada yada. I'm not giving any away. So.
No, don't give out the recipe.
Exactly. But yeah, so I guess you believe in something. Something happened and we're here and that's something, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe in that stuff over like what people believe, I guess, typically in like Christianity, like with the way I was raised, like God creating everybody and yada yada yada.
Yeah, it's weird because even I'll talk to like atheists, like full on atheists, and I'm like, even if God doesn't exist or whatever the case be, something still created where we're at. Like even if it created itself, then it's its creator. Like something created this. If there's something outside of it, and it's not a thought maybe that we're supposed to comprehend. We have so much in front of us. Why should we worry about that?
Right. And think about how much we've learned to understand in the last like 300 years. Mm-hmm. Imagine what they're going to be doing in the next 200-300 years. Like we can't even comprehend because it's that far. Like just the jump we've made in tech in the last 20 years. In the next 100, like shit's going to be, it has to. The way that the world's going, either it will change or it will end. Like
exactly.
There's no choice. Sure. Like we're burning it out.
If they say again in 30 years or whatever, they're like, hey, we have these robot bodies, we can fully put your consciousness in it and you can be here forever. I'm going to do it, probably.
Would you?
Yeah, most likely. As long as they don't make me a slave or some shit. But it's just like, I don't know if I want to
That's
die.
what my question
At least right now,
be.
I have so much that I want to do.
Yeah.
So maybe when I'm 80 or 90 or whatever, I'll be like, okay, I'm tired. I can take a long nap. I'm cool with that. But like right now, I am terrified because of the moment that I'm. Maybe later.
That's how I feel. I've had a lot of friends and family die like sporadically, like straight up out of the blue. And that scares the hell out of me because I feel like you said where I am at right now between what I've built with the store, but just the projection I can see with where we're headed, mixed with my kids. Like I can't fathom, even if I'm 100 years old, I can't fathom leaving my kids behind. And when I'm 100, my one daughter is going to be 80. We're only 20 years apart. You know what I mean? Like she'll be fine. Like if I make it to 80, that's a blessing. Now, mind you, the men in my family typically live past 90, but I don't know. Yeah, that is like the one thing that I choose to not think about. I try and wake up and live each day for like those who can't and like keep it pushing because there's a lot of people that don't have the privilege to be here anymore. So you got to push it when you can. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But it's also healthy to think about it a little bit because I think a lot of people push a lot of hard thoughts away and then you never Michelangelo yourself or whatever. That's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Who's the dude that did the sculpts? That's Michelangelo, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was right.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you never strike the iron or whatever the case. Like you don't. Like pressure makes diamonds. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
have to think about these things, and sometimes you go crazy about it. You shouldn't think about it all day, but
Yeah.
there's things that you need to face, and if
Yeah, I
not that,
used to let it really weigh me down. I used to be
yeah,
super depressed about that, about a lot of that stuff, but I use it as like uh, just motivation and burn and fire, and I definitely don't let it weigh me down. I use it as fuel for the fire. You got to. Yeah.
it's good, especially with kids. I can't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I hear the stories of once you have a kid, like you just don't know what it is until you do it,
Yeah.
just to live for them, and I'm sure that puts a fire under your
Yeah.
ass to get up early and do stuff.
Big
It's cool.
time. Big time. I was lucky. I was so I became a single parent when my eldest turned 11 months. So I've been primary custody. It's been me and her holding it down up
Okay.
until I started dating my now fiance. But from 11 months old until like 7.5,
Mm-hmm.
it was me and her. Like that's it. Like
At the house, just you.
at the house, playing games, my friends coming over, helping out, just spending a lot of time together, playing games, walking through the neighborhood, walking up and down Brady Street. I was managing Bel Air Cantina, so I'd bring her there a lot. Yeah, yeah, it was cool. That really like forced me to grow up and mature. I say it for the path I was on at that time. If I wouldn't have had a kid and been pushed into being a single parent, I probably would have been in jail, probably, or
What do you think for
um, hmm,
the Wheel of Fortune?
Wheel of Fortune, yeah, murder, probably
Really? Really?
no, no,
Mafioso.
I would
Yeah.
say that at this age, when my daughter was born, I was in the field of dispensing floral products amongst
You worked at a
friends and
flower shop.
community.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was a way for me to have extra money because I was working 2 jobs, but raising a kid by yourself when you're 20 is expensive. And so I was 2 jobs plus the side hustle, and I was grinding that for a long time. And that is what helped like pave the way to like support my child those first couple years. But yeah, I mean, it was a unique time. It was a different time. I would do anything for my kids to this day. Anything they want, I'll do it at the drop of a hat. I just did volleyball coaching. I'm about to do soccer coaching. I take my eldest to school early because she's in this like newsroom class. Like I love that shit.
I heard they want to come here and shop.
Dude, if you had more Hello Kitty stuff, do you got more? Do you got Hello Kitty stuff?
No, not
That's
Hello Kitty.
They're into the kawaii stuff. Sanrio.
That's Target for you, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately.
I guess my last official question for you would be, what do you want to be known for? Like after you're gone, after like legacy, whatever. Like, what do you, Benny, want to be known for?
Huh. That's a great question. I would say that, I really model what I do after what I saw my Nanu doing, and just people understanding that I really love what I do and that I will continue to fight for the progress of Milwaukee and the building of the community as a small business, as a nerd, a toy stop, a card store, a vintage shop. Um, just I want to continue.
Thrift store.
I want no, damn it. God damn it. I just want to be able to keep giving back as time goes on and put myself in a position to just give more to people, and give people a safe space to shop and just continue to be like a community beacon for everybody to have a safe space to shop, to sell, and just know that I gave it my all no matter how long it lasts.
Not bad.
Thank you.
You're not bad. I think you're doing good, and I think you'll continue to do good.
Thank you.
I don't see why,
Until all those pictures come out.
Which ones?
The
Okay.
underweb. Don't search my old Tumblr. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god. I have to
Tons
do
of
it.
nude pictures.
Really?
Clip it. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm serious.
All right, the bidding is starting now for Benny to take his clothes off.
Polaroids start at $50.
There we go.
Follow
his Patreon.
my OnlyFans. Yeah, my subscriptions now.
That's what I saw. Yes,
I do have Sayward subscriptions.
Yeah.
I do have Sayward subscriptions for
where
$4.99.
he will try on anything that you want.
Yeah, it's $4.99 a month.
He will try it on, and you know,
his feet pics.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's funny. I was actually gonna message you that day when I saw that.
Did you see my buddy? My buddy Harrison replied. He was like, "Benny slanging feet pics for $4.99." I said, "Buddy, that's the $19.99. That's the premium." Yeah,
socks are on.
Yeah. But I'll still mush them in mayo for you or something.
Marinara, please.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Playing on my culture a little bit. Just smush meatballs with my toes.
You could probably make some money.
Oh yeah. Paint them real pretty.
Anything for the kids.
Yeah. Put the team on my back.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's good. But like I said, I really, truly, I mean, growing to know you more and more, like you definitely are cultivating the community and molding the community with one piece at a time, legitimately, you know, and whether you know that or not, tons of people love you.
Yeah, thank
cool,
you.
Just keep going.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Hopefully, when we die, we'll have.
Yeah, that's
I think
what
so.
I hope. Yeah,
maybe to spit on us, but
yeah. Hey, it counts.
Yeah,
they showed up.
You showed up.
They took the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess. Exactly. Yeah, just let the people know where you are, how to find you. I'm gonna cut it, but you could let them know.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, just speed it up so they don't hear anything. It's in mouse voice.
Warnings for Big Pharma.
Yep. I'm right down the street, 3474 North Oakland. If you're shopping by me, you can come here. If you're shopping here, you can slide by me. We do vintage. We do vintage toys, video games, everything amazing from 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Check our Instagram, sayword.co. Check our website, sayword.co. Check out John on our Word Wednesday, episode 33. And that's where you can see us.
And this was episode 3.
There we go. I love it. Perfect. Angel numbers, as the ladies say.
Yep. I was born 9/3/93 at 9:39 p.m.
That's crazy.
Yep.
3333333. Kareem should have been in your top 3.
No.
That's just my Milwaukee.
Is he? Yeah. He's decent. He was decent.
Yeah.
All right. That was great. Thank you, man.
Thank you, dude.
No, Brandon, no. We was gonna die together. We was gonna ride forever.